I realized I've been running on adrenaline. I was like finished. The adrenaline wore off just to make sure my child is okay.
Now, yeah, you can focus. You finish that hair until you finish that hair.
Yeah.
Over there, it's more like people, as soon as you walk in, it's like.
Hey guys, so today we're gonna spend the day together. I just had my face done at home. Merlene is leaving, my makeup artist, who I keep bringing out of retirement to hook this up. I've decided to lay my hair at home because the headphones are gonna make that impression. And immediately after, I'm going to MC an event. It is the Previdar cover reveal for Nadia Nakai, and then afterwards I'm hosting a Twitter space with Nedbank. We're talking about financial stress because we all got all of that. So hang on for the ride. Keep out for those infections. I know we worry about COVID and the energy is high for COVID. There are other bugs going around. There are other bacterial and viral infections that are going around as well. So I am also just catching up on the news, and I see Andre de Ruyter is speaking now, but to say corruption at Eskom at more than 18 billion rand a month, like what? Can you fathom 18 billion rand a month? I'm shocked, but I'm also not surprised. I can't believe it is that much. I can't believe. And I recall again David Gow's tweet saying the front page are covered with Thabo Bester and Nandipa when we're dealing with an electricity crisis. And Eskom, that there are bigger things, we are being distracted. So I'm looking forward to hear all of the things that Andre de Ruyter has to say. We'll stay tuned to EWN on all of those. Now I want to kick off by asking all of you, what is it that hooks you to be committed to something on TV or streaming platforms? What is it? Is it the setting? Like, ooh, anything medical, I'm there. Is it the characters? Is it the drama? What is it that hooks you? Maybe it's even the actor, that you have a favorite actor you like to follow. And then the question is, what is it that you think should be? What is it that you think you should be watching on our screens? And I'm thinking about this because I think about when I was growing up, being a kid that just wasn't even in the industry, and how I loved watching aspirational content. I loved watching people doing things that I didn't know were possible. I mean, Karabo Moroka and Achi, it was a black advertising agency. Hey, you know, like, that is aspirational when we're growing up. Now that I'm older, outside of the fact that I'm in the TV space, what I love watching are things that are real. I like watching mirrors. I love content that is like, oh, this is real. So I'm curious as to what it is that hooks you into television, be it series, movies. How do you decide what it is you're going to watch, and what do you think should be on TV? Because sometimes people get upset when it's too real and too close to home, like when Yuzo came out. I know John Pullman chatted about it at a time. And then there are times where it's too aspirational and too unrealistic. So let me know. I'd love to hear from all of you what those things are that you look out for. Somebody also said to me that they love a show like Billions because it's centered around business.
Everybody was ranting and raving about Game of Thrones, so I tried watching it, got through the first half of the first season, and I thought, this isn't working.
I have to be honest, you are very patient. So Game of Thrones is very slow and requires you to take time. And I feel like I'm those like recruitment agencies that have been trying to recruit people. But I also realize some people, the pace doesn't work. So if you're saying you gave a series 3 episodes and then you even got through the first, no, 3 episodes is too much. It needs to hook you by at least the cliffhanger of the first episode. You need to be hooked by then. You're very patient. All right, John. So let's get started. Many people obviously find themselves in these predicaments where they really are rearing to go, but they're at that point where they need the money and they don't know where to begin. So what should a person do before they get to the point of saying, I need to raise capital? And maybe share with us so we all are of the understanding of what we mean when we say capital. Obviously, this is just an audio platform, audio medium. So how does it usually work?
Well, It's better if it's face to face, but you know, we can still do the audio because all I do is guide the person,
Okay.
you know, with the transcript. So, you know, there's nothing too visual that you need to follow. You know,
So
directions.
you're talking them to sleep basically.
Yes.
So is it possible that we do it towards the end?
Yes.
And are you going to be able to do it straight into the microphone?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So will the listeners be able to experience it wherever they're sitting? Okay, perfect.
There's very few comedy series that have really hooked me along. I think I followed Friends for a bit in the very, very, very beginning. But yeah, I prefer the kind of the rougher stuff.
The rougher stuff. And then do you have a skew towards crime or period or medical, like if it's set against a certain backdrop, which do you prefer?
Don't like hospitals, like watching cops in action. If it's old stuff, don't particularly like it. Never did get Downton Abbey.
What? Downton
Didn't get
Abbey
it.
was so good.
I'm glad you and 500 million other people liked it because now they don't need my money. But not that I paid for it. But yeah, and then I'm trying to think. There was a fabulous series. People should dig it out. Actually, called I, Claudius, which was set in Roman times. That was a fantastic series, and I remember liking that in the 70s. Just to put it in its historical context and me in perspective.
So what is on the menu for today? I was sharing with everybody earlier that because I sort of was out of touch the past couple of days with what's happening, and then I discovered that we didn't have a mayor again, and somebody was saying...
They didn't call you.
They're
looking for them.
Somebody said, is it my turn yet? Because
yes.
So I'm saying I'm ready
Take a
for my
number.
turn, and then somebody else was commenting about this whole thing, saying that being a mayor in South Africa is a piece job. It's a side hustle.
Sadly for us taxpayers, not paid at piece job rates, I'm afraid.
Yes. So we are done with radio, and luckily the venue where I'm emceeing is literally just down the road. It's walking distance, but I ain't walking. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom and change. Or should I change? I'll change here. And then we're gonna go to the venue. I need to finish up my hair, and then we're getting started in about 25 minutes. So let's go. So we're here at Zoo, and the program's running a little bit late, and I'm keeping track of time because I still have another gig to do. That's from 7 to around 9 p.m. And because the network here is not great, I have to log in for the Twitter space at home where there's Wi-Fi and better network. But yeah, people have arrived and the vibes are going down. I'm a little bit anxious because the past couple of days I actually haven't been at work. And yeah, my baby was sick and I'm just trying to get into actually I need a drink. Bye.
Can you hear me? Is this on?
Yes.
I feel like I don't need this. You guys can hear me.
All right, let's try. It's your cover.
Oh, it's the cover.
Don't touch the covers.
A lot of it is my own fault because of the way that I used to dress. I was very fatty. You know, I think they really thought I was just about a good time. I was just trying to show my bums. Oh wait, don't forget hi guys. Yeah, she knows what goes on. Yeah, so I think they just didn't think I had much depth to me. And I think as the years went by, and just my
Before that, I'm gonna go on stage and my outfit is not okay. There's a problem. I'm comfortable. Even that.
Okay. But I think just evolving and growing, people got to know like a speck of who I really am, and I'm very sentimental. I'm very sensitive. I'm loyal. I will ride for you. And I just feel like I am a genuine person, and I attract a lot of genuine people around me as well, which is a blessing. So I want to say thank you guys for coming out tonight. I really do appreciate it.
So without us risking playing more jumpy clips, I think it gives you an idea. But this is a full 45-minute conversation that got deep, that got real, that got intimate, and I think there's so many events publicly that happen in your life that then required you to sit down and have a conversation. Not long after we shot this, you were back at your first gig. How would you say you were able to transport yourself back into work mode? Because for those of you in the business, you know that the show must go on, right? So the other day I'm on air, and I get a call from my child's crash. Now, talk radio, we don't have songs to answer phone calls. You wait until the news and you have like 2.5 minutes. And they're like, your child's temperature is so high, and I'm freaking out, and I had to do another 30 minutes. And the show had to go on. I couldn't be like, hey, you better go call center, blah, like, figure yourself out. So how did you, in the midst of life happening, transition back into the show must go on?
I had a lot of support, especially from a lot of people that are here tonight, so that's not because it's not easy. Even coming today, I had a lot of anxiety because I was just like, I haven't been doing events. I haven't been out during the day, really. I'm at home. So whoever was with me the first night at Rockets, I apologize. I apologize, I was out of control. But the support, and the crazy thing is that I've gotten support from people that I never expected would support me the way that they have. And I'm just so grateful. You know, I really talk about collateral beauty a lot, about when the worst thing happens, the beauty in those instances, like relationships, support, realizing that there's people that you really never spoke to that have become like one of the most amazing support systems. It's crazy how things that I expected and what actually is are two different things. So a lot of support, and I appreciate it. I said I was going to cry today, but it's so annoying.
I really feel like the support a person has is a reflection of who they are. So for me, it only speaks to who you are. Like if you were a dick, no one would be here. I mean, Caro needs to be front and center, so we are continuously reminded. But if you're not a great person, you're not going to be attracting great people. So on that note, how have you maintained just who you are, your authentic self, in the midst of a difficult industry that requires you to sometimes do things? At Miss South Africa, I made her do a jump that she didn't want to do. But it was like other people are pushing you to do things that you feel like, I'm not actually ready, but someone's like, you're going to do the jump, and you did it. How do you balance that and remain yourself?
I think a lot of things I need to outlearn is I've been a people pleaser for the longest time. So I did that jump because I was trying to please you. I didn't want to do it. But I find myself in instances where I do things to not disappoint people or not make them feel like I'm being difficult or whatever the case is. But I think I've gotten to a point where I just want to do what makes me happy because life is short. And if it means that I offend the next person, it might actually have to be that. And I have to be comfortable with that and not compromising my comfortability, what I actually want to just not seem difficult. Now it's about what I want all the time. I'm not compromising with my own happiness.
And the reason what she's saying is true. At the shoot, there's a jacket Nadia wanted to wear. And everybody said, no. She said, yay, I'm trying it on. And I was like, I absolutely love a person who can listen to 10 people say, don't do it. You tried it on and you're like, okay, it's not working, but you decided for yourself. Yeah. So what would you share takes for you to get to that place? Because it's so difficult, especially as a black woman, to get to a place to say, actually, I hear what 10 of you are saying. Maybe you're an expert makeup artist, stylist, but I need to see for myself.
Yeah.
What was the question?
What does it take for you to get to that place? Some people I still battle with that, exactly like what you say. The part of like, I know all these people are saying to me, don't do it. But there's something in me that's saying, do it.
I think I have a teachable spirit. I'm a person that doesn't think that she knows everything. I like learning, and it kind of like solidifies what I'm trying to do. Someone else says, that's a good idea, do that. I think I can't actually trust my own thoughts a lot of the time. So I do need a lot of guidance. I do need a lot of advising. I don't think I can do everything by myself, and I question myself a lot. So I don't really know. I really don't know. It takes a community, I think.
Do you also suffer from imposter syndrome like many people in the industry?
Yes, 100%.
How does your imposter syndrome manifest? Is it the thing of like, ish, they're gonna find out one day, I can't do this thing, but I'm doing it somehow?
Yeah. I think it's that, and I think it's also just there's so many people that look like me, there's so many people that can do what I do, there's so many people that can give the same offering, and you sometimes feel like you're not the best version of this, but right now you're the version that has the most attention. And you're trying to make sure that you constantly just cultivate that as long as you can. But like even today, coming in today, I was just like, is this really like that big? Is it really that important to have like a whole event and an unveiling and a, oh my God, like maybe I should just be at home and post on Instagram, because I feel that a lot of the times I downsize my accomplishments because I see someone else doing something bigger. And that's what my friend today was just like, don't forget your accomplishments are yours, and you need to celebrate every single one of them, no matter how small you think they are to the next person. It's important to be able to teach your own
Also, isn't she the best Nadia Nakai we have? I mean, we wouldn't want another one, I'm just saying.
How would you describe your fashion style? My fashion style is ever evolving. At first was like a thought that I was like very funny. Like I would wear like thotty attire, you know, just the most shock factor, the better. Now I'm more of like classic pieces, things that are just like a little more comfortable, but like more of like fashion statement than going all on shoes. Yeah. No matter what, my thing was like, does my nyash look great in this? It was just that. Like, I even imported fishnet stockings because at that time you couldn't find those Beyonce ones, you know those nude ones that were like, I had to order them from overseas, and then I found out you get them from dancer stores or whatever, because that's how much I was invested on my nyash showing. That it had to be like, you know, very like, when I do this, it mustn't cellulite. So, but I'm not like that anymore. I'm trying to like show nyash as like little as possible. Still be nice and like, you know, exciting, but don't be like in your face with the sexuality and the femininity or whatever.
Of course, guys, did you taste the fed cook? Yeah. Don't underestimate the bread on the table. Le ring. Absolutely enjoying the menu, and there will be more food to come. Then I'd like to invite a rep from Shivers to come through.
Very excited to share this milestone with you, Nadia, because the Shivers Be Real, Be Regal campaign is about celebrating the wins of the new legals, and to us this is what you represent. No matter how big or small your win is, we want to be behind you. We want to be behind those who uplift themselves and those around them. You represent the new regals the world over. And we're proud to be Read and Regal with you, and I'm looking forward to working with you in the future. Nadia, be real, be regal, the Shivers.
Thank you. All right, Pindi, I'm going to give you a microphone. We're going to open up the floor to some Q&A. So does anybody, just by show of hand, have a question for Nadia regarding the cover, regarding her career?
Over here, Lerato. No.
Oh, Lerato's our first question.
I'm so proud of you. You have no idea the strength and courage and just tenacity and being stoic through everything has just been awe-inspiring to watch. And I think everyone here thinks that, you know, you're incredible and we're behind you all the way. Now, I wanted to know what was the vibe in terms of the fashion part of things with your shoot, the styling, what was the inspiration, what did you love, what did you not love, what was double taped, what was, you know, I want to know all about the fashion side of things.
her looks, I was actually in love with. I normally always have like an opinion about something, but everything she came up with was so amazing that it became difficult to even choose what the cover image would be, because there were different facets of it. It's like the red seemed more of like what I'm going through right now, and then the black with the fringe is like the businesswoman Nadia Nakai, and then the one with the bob and the headpiece is the creative Nadia Nakai, and then the one with the afro and like the performance outfit is Nadia Nakai on stage. So it was like literally every part of who I am that kind of was showcased with the clothing. And I couldn't really be upset about anything because it really was dope. Even the dress that I wore for the interview, I was like, I really want to take everything home. Can I take the glasses home? Can I take the dress home? Can I take the shoes home? Which means it's a good styling job, because you're going to take the stuff home and buy it from the stylist. It means that they did a good job. So shout out to Tobeka.
I don't want to ask a question. I just want to say I love you, Nadia.
Thank you so much, Cairo.
To echo what Nadia said, truly proud of you, we love you, and we got you, keep shining, and you look fantastic. Yeah. You already know.
Looking around the room, you can see that love is evident. You know how much we love you. So I'm super excited to be here as well and share this with you. Quick question. So you've had different looks. You explained that you wear different hats in these looks. If you had to say, if you had to count them down and say which look really stood out for you and count it down at 5 or what would it be? And your number one look, why would you say it's your favorite look? And how did it resonate with you the most? Especially having gone through what you have to be where you are now, having to come out, after everything that's happened, was quite a big step in your career. So how did that make you feel as Braga, as Nadia, as a person, now having to continue this life journey as Braga and Nadia, obviously, but with different lens, looking at it differently with different goggles on?
I wanted the afro because I'm just not sure. I wasn't sure till this day. I just wasn't sure, but when it came out in like editorial, it looks amazing. And the last one was the one in red because I felt like it gave me widow vibes, and I felt like I don't want to have a cover that makes it seem like I'm trying to capitalize on anything, because people can make it seem like, oh, Nadia's doing this because like all eyes are on her because of what she just went through, and so I didn't want it to be about that. So that is my least favorite picture. I actually don't want it at all. But I understand it, and it's a beautiful picture, but I just feel like for me, it just didn't sit well. But the other three I feel like are amazing. It's so creative, and it shows a different side of me, which is really great.
So question number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 is the how did you continue being the Nadia and the brother in the context of everything and showing up even for this?
I think the only option I have is to continue being me and continue working and getting out there, because if I'm not doing this, I'm in my house. So I'd like to stay as busy as possible, around people as much as possible, to just, I get strength from it. That's where I get my strength from, is being productive and busy. I just want to say shout out to my prosh. I don't know if she was Pindi, because she came and she just said, okay, and we are running, and this is what we're doing, and I'm not going to let you breathe because we're going to be busy from the word jump, and I really appreciate that because I would have never been able to do that without you, so shout out to you. Miss my I love you. This is what I love doing, and I think this is the only thing I can do right now, is focus on it.
So, last question from my side would be, what were you most nervous about walking into this cover shoot? Because obviously this was scheduled way in advance. The first time you were actually having a conversation, I mean, even though we know each other personally, it's not the same when the cameras are on and we're talking. What were you most nervous about?
The looks. I think that's the most nervous I've ever been in a very long time, because now I'm very cognizant of how I look, how I'm portrayed, what is the offering. Before I'd be like, I'm on a cover, great. But now I have to really think about a lot of things, because a lot of things are just involved now. There's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of people involved, there's a lot of opinions, there's a lot of, I have to be very strategic about absolutely everything that I do now, which I wasn't as much back then, you know. But I also, a little part of me also doesn't want to be difficult, you know. So, yeah, I think it's just how I'm portrayed is a nervous thing. But I feel like Previdar did an amazing job. So thank you.
Can we rephrase the word difficult with knows what she wants? I'm just asking.
I know.
Is it possible?
I know, but you know with women, when you're difficult, you're a bitch. When a guy, but when a guy is difficult, he's being a boss. But you know, so there's always that thing in your head where you can't do too much because they make you feel like you're lucky you got this opportunity instead of saying you actually deserve this opportunity.
My name is Pastor Salvin. Pastor. So I just want to say you are a weight carrier. You carry so much weight. And today it is not about actually the expression of the cover being revealed. It is your strength being revealed. I want you to take this wherever you go. Be joyful whenever you face turbulent trial, because that trial will produce endurance. Endurance will produce patience. Patience will produce faith. And allow all those things to run their course. Allow them. When it's done, you'll be complete, perfect, lacking nothing. And right now you are complete, perfect, and lacking nothing. Just wanted to say that.
As people, and specifically for you, Nadia, in the same way as we accept the bad things, we need to learn to accept the good things, right? Because while we think the bad things are harder to accept, the good things are sometimes tougher to accept, right? Because you're still going to be asking why me in a different way. So when something really good happens to you, now you have a different level of anxieties because it requires more of you. But in the same way that you need to accept the bad news, please do the same with the good news. So it is not by accident that we are all here today in this moment at this place for you. It is not an accident that we're running an hour late. It is not an accident. Nothing is an accident. So in the same way that you have to pray to God and say, help me accept that horrible thing or that bad thing or this thing I'm not comfortable with, the same prayers, help me accept the good things. Because only then will you truly open yourself up to joy. I think we spend too much time sitting in the doubt and the, am I deserving? Are people are going to find, like the thing you were saying now about, let me just post from my couch. No, we are going to drink with Shivas and dress up and get face beats and talk. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for a cover reveal?